Podcast Playground.
Hooray!
This is the Deron Harris Podcast. Here's your host, Deron Harris.
Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the show. I'm Deron Harris. This is my podcast, and thank you for joining me this week. So I just woke up a couple of minutes ago. I rolled out of bed, came over here and sat down and realized that today is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and on Tuesday, we will be changing history here in the United States. And what I mean by that is we're about to elect a president or a dictator. Well, a lot of people seem to think that he will become this dictator if elected. And a lot of people don't have any reason to believe that he won't. Me personally, I do think he is completely capable of it, as he is probably the world's greatest narcissist. And any opportunity that he can get to have people lick his ass, he's going to fucking take it. But this isn't about that. This is pretty much about what you think, folks. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Do you think you could deal with 4 years of a Kamala Harris presidency, or do you think that you could deal with a lifetime of Trump and his politics and appointing people in his particular party? Do you think that that's going to be something for you? Because it is proposed on January 1st, 2025, that Project 2025 will take effect in the United States, and they're going to start with sweeping mass deportations, according to them. Now, if this is going to be possible, that remains to be seen, but people seem to think that, you know, if he's elected, that's one of the things that he's going to go through with, as he can, constantly talks about the border and immigration and how screwed up it is down there and how Kamala Harris didn't really do her job effectively, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I look at it like this. If he had done his job effectively at the first term, we'd have a wall down there and not really be worried about it now, would we? But instead, what we have is, someone talking about everything that he's done, but really can't show everything that he's done. I mean, he lies about the things that he's done, and not for nothing, so do Democrats. Democrats also lie about the things that they've done, but it's something very special about this man and the way he lies. He lies, and everybody believes that it's truth, and the reason why is because he is better than anyone at playing the victim. He is a constant victim for things. He constantly makes up excuses as to why things don't go his way. He blames everybody for things not going his way. And for me, I just think that is that's a little telling to me. That's somebody who cannot, that can't have any accountability. He cannot be accountable. He can't be wrong for things. And that's a problem, because in the instance that something bad does happen and he does do something wrong, he has that defense. I didn't know what happened, or they wronged me in some way, or it wasn't my fault, it was everybody else around me. And that is the classic and quintessential victim's mentality. And that's bad. But the thing that's the bad part about it is the fact that people believe him, even when it's obvious that he's lying, even when it's obvious that he's being untruthful, people still believe him. They believe what he says, all the way down to when he says he's not a racist. They believe him. And I'm sorry, Donald Trump is from New York. I too am from New York. And New Yorkers, we don't play that, man. We got your fucking number, dude. We really do. Because, what's the saying? If it looks like a duck, smells like a duck, or walks like a duck, it probably is a duck. Well, this motherfucker's a duck. He's a liar and a cheater. If he's a liar and cheater, looks like a liar and cheater, always looking like a liar and cheater, then guess what? This motherfucker's a liar and a cheater. But listen, I'm just going to leave it up to the rest of the United States, because I cast my vote earlier in the week. My wife and I, we went out and we voted for Vice President Harris proudly, even though we have the same last name. I don't necessarily agree 100% with her politics, but what I do know is this, that I can take, and I've said this on other podcasts, I can take 4 years of a bad president. I cannot take a lifetime of a dictatorship. I just can't take that. I could do 4 years of somebody who's fucking it up. I really can. You know what I mean? God damn it, Kamala, you're fucking it up. I can do 4 years of that. But I can't do the rest of my life not being able to say anything or speak out against the government or speak out against things that oppress people or wrongs committed by the government. I don't think I want to be a part of that, because we see what happens, in places like North Korea and Russia, even China, any place where you are vocal against a particular regime. Some of these places will come out and get you and your family and end your whole fucking existence because they don't like what you said about them, or they don't want you to cause any kind of unrest or kind of any upheaval in the ranks. And I just think that's small man's disease. That's a small man's disease. A man that can't be told about himself even when he has done something wrong is a small person. That is a small man. And there's no two ways to look at it. There's no two ways to get around it. People behaving like that they have a small mentality. People sit up, and I got a buddy, Trump's so smart. He's a businessman and business this and business that. And he was successful. Listen, he has failed more times than he has succeeded. And the only reason he was able to bounce back the way that he was able to bounce back is because his family had the money to. If I had a business like Trump Airlines, and I lost that airline, I would be done. Most business owners in the country would be fucking finished. You might be able to get one more thing off, but you ain't going to get off Trump Airline, Trump University, Trump Vodka, Trump the Game, et cetera, et cetera. You're not going to be able to continue to put good money after bad, so you can feel like you're this successful business person. I hate that. I hate that people believe that, because he really is not a good business person. You ask me, cats like Mark Cuban, even though some people don't like Mark Cuban, but Mark Cuban is a good businessman. And the reason I like Mark Cuban is he understands the value of diversity. He really does. He believes that people from different backgrounds can contribute to whatever project you have, whatever task you have put in front of you. He believes that all people, not just people of color, but all people are capable of these things. That's not the way the other party thinks. That's definitely not the way Donald Trump thinks. Donald Trump definitely thinks that people that are minorities are not as smart or as well-to-do as white people. He believes that implicitly. He is an institutional racist, and he is without question a bigot, and what he's doing now is he's trying to prove that he's not, so that he can garner the votes of these said minority communities, which I'm just in shock and in awe. I'm in shock and awe at all of these minority communities that fall for the rhetoric, or fall for the brainwashing, or fall for his deceitfulness or his lies. They just fall for it. They believe it up one side and down the other. What's funny to me is if somebody tells you something that's fantastical, even your friends, your family, something that's fantastical, most people have a tendency to go, you know what, man, let me back that up. I got a friend. It doesn't matter what I say. Okay, I could have got it from Jesus Christ himself. He could have came down and gave me this information himself. But if I tell this information to this person, immediately it's, I got to go look that up for myself. Or I got to go check that out for myself. I didn't necessarily hear that, so I don't know if that's particularly true. And he does that all the time. And I've gotten to the point where I've stopped really giving a fuck about what he thinks. But it's so convenient for people to question other people that they know. They've known, this person has known me his entire life. We've known each other our entire lives, damn near. You know what I'm saying? We grew up together. And just about everything I say, he questions. But Donald Trump can say that he didn't do this. And he, like he did last week, well, Trump said he didn't do it. And if you believe that, I got a fucking bridge I could sell you. Because I watched a TV show the other night with Don Cheadle and Samuel L. Jackson and Terrence Howard and Kevin Hart and Taraji P. Henson. It was just it's on the Peacock Network, and it's called Fight Night, $1 Million Heist. And Don Cheadle had a line at the very end, and I'm not gonna give away the scene, because if you want to watch it, it's actually great. You should actually go watch it. But Don Cheadle had a scene where he had a phrase that said, the phrase was, let me see if I can get it right. It says, "A stuck pig will definitely squeal." A stuck pig will definitely squeal. That means when you start calling out somebody who's guilty of shit, the first thing they start doing is start squealing about how it's somebody else's fault, or somebody else did that, and it wasn't me, and they tried this, and they set me up, and they put me up to it, and I had no idea, and I didn't know this was going to happen, etc., etc. Sound familiar, everybody? Sound familiar? You know what else squeals? Somebody who's guilty. Somebody who's guilty of shit that they want to brag about. They brag about it because they think that they can't be touched, or they can't be judged, or no one will believe the other party. But I believe Donald Trump. I believe him when he says he wants to make America great again. But he doesn't want to make America great for everybody. And that's obvious. He wants to make America great for the top 1%. Look at Elon Musk stuffed right up his ass. I don't know how they're doing it. It must be one big fucking circle jerk with all these fucking billionaires up here sucking each other's assholes. I mean, it's comical to watch. I mean, it's very funny to watch. Elon Musk is one of the most awkward motherfuckers to ever walk the face of the earth, and he's supporting another awkward motherfucker. And it's just funny to me. It's hilarious. But you know what's not funny? The fact that this guy could possibly win, could possibly walk away with this election, because I'm going to tell you what. You know, she might be our best chance at democracy right this minute. Was she to begin with? I really don't think so. But right now, she's our best chance at saving our democracy. But people seem to not think that. And people have especially this, you know, the Republicans, they have a way of downplaying the shit out of important things. They downplay the shit, make it seem like shit. Oh, it's really not that big a deal. It's not that big a deal. Oh, we're just going to repeal some of these laws. It's not really that big a deal. We're just going to get rid of gender-affirming care for minors. It's not really that big a deal. I don't give a fuck what they did. You know, if you got a fucking child bleeding out on a fucking table, are you just going to say, oh, no, gender-affirming care for this child because it's... You going to do that? That means you're a douchebag and you should have your fucking license removed. That's what that means. Because I'm this guy, man. I don't claim to be this super Christian. I don't really even claim to be religious. I'm a spiritual person, but I do, even in my spirituality, I know the fucking difference between right and wrong. I know the difference between fucking doing somebody good and doing somebody dirty. And I'm just going to go ahead and fucking say it. If we put Donald Trump in the fucking, you know, he going to do us all dirty. And the funny shit, you know, I almost kind of want him to be elected president, so all the people that supported him can see that he played they fucking ass like a sucker, man, just to get their votes. Especially all these black folks out here. That's what I mean. I'm a black dude. But I want all these black folks out here that voted for Donald Trump, that are voting for Trump, that are standing behind Trump to make America great again. I can't wait. I can't wait till y'all start feeling some of the shit that you didn't want to check out because you're not a political person. I can't wait till you start feeling that shit. I can't wait till you turn around and go, oh, wait a minute, what happened now? I can't wait till all you motherfuckers out here waving these fucking Trump flags, you know, behind your fucking pickup trucks while you work your regular ass job. I can't wait till the middle class goes away and it's either the super rich or fucking us. And then you're going to realize that you don't have shit in common with them people. And they've known that from the beginning. They don't have nothing in common with your fucking tobacco chewing, fucking collard green eating, they don't have nothing in common with you. Nor do they want to have anything in common with you. The only thing they need from you is your vote. That's the only thing that they need from you at all, at any time, is your vote. And if they don't fucking get it, then you're evil, you're part of the fucking problem, you're the radical left, etc., etc. If you do not support the shit that they support, then you are evil. Now, hold on, wait a minute. Because there are some things that I definitely support. Because I don't fucking care. Because it doesn't really concern me. You know what I'm saying? I support women being able to make choices for their own bodies. Sorry. Actually, no, I'm not. I support that. I support women being able to make decisions for themselves about the care of their body and their reproductive health and their reproductive rights. I think men should butt all the way the fuck out, because at the bottom of the line, by end of the day, it really is quite simple. If motherfuckers started making laws to cut people's dicks off, it wouldn't be no laws like that. They would fucking vote them shits out. And that's what I'm talking about. Men need to understand one fundamental thing, that we are not women. Therefore, we should not be governing anything regarding a woman's body. Now, everything outside of that, taxes and shit like that, great. But when it comes to my fucking body, you don't have a say. You don't have a dog in this fight. You don't have a vagina, sir. So you need to go sit your pussy ass down. And that's what it is. It's a bunch of dudes standing up in front of a bunch of podiums with some official-looking seal and a bunch of microphones stuffed in their face. They got a suit and a tie on, a little lapel pin. And they sit up there and they make policy. And then they go home to their cushy-ass house. And that right there, my friends, is the problem. What I'd like is for a motherfucker that made policy to go home to the hood. I think all of these motherfuckers, all of the politicians, if you are a politician, you want to run for office in your county or in your state or in wherever you are running for office, I think it should be mandatory that you spend at least 6 months living in every community. You have a governor's mansion, you got you a little mansion, or you got you a nice house someplace, but I think it should be mandatory 6 months, sir. If you want to be the mayor of this town, then the mayor of this town needs to go to where the most problems are in this town, and you need to pitch a tent, sir. You need to pitch a tent so you can sit there in it and try and figure out how to get out of it, like these people do every day. These people sit here every fucking day and they try to figure out how to get out of this shit. How do we get out of here, man? How are we going to raise ourselves up enough to beat the hood? Especially when there's legislation being passed to continue to hurt us, to continue to keep us oppressed. How do we beat the hood? That's why I think, like I said, and then hold on. I'll do you another thing better. Do you one better? Fuck all that salary shit. What's the median income of this state? What's the median income of the state that you're representing? Oh, $55,000? Is that it? That's what the fuck you make. That's what the fuck you make. Or how about let's do it like this? Let's give your ass minimum wage plus tips, motherfucker. Everything you do good, we'll tip you. But if your service is bad, you're going to get fucking stiffed. And then fired. That's what I think. I think the office of the presidency should be something that just like every other job. I mean, because it is a job. It's the top job in the United States. But nevertheless, it's a fucking job. I think this job, just like every other job, should come with 90 days, motherfucker. You got 90 days. You got 90 days. You know, they have the first 100 days of the presidency. No. You got 90 days. And then after that, we're going to sit down with HR and we're going to evaluate your fucking performance after 90 days. And if you got some good things done for the country, cool, you get to keep your fucking job. And then we sign you on and you're a permanent employee now. But at the end of that 90 days, and your shit is slipping, just like every other job, at the end of 90 days is good enough for you to prove your worth to this job or to this organization. You got 90 days. Then after that 90 days, if shit is fucking still fucked up, Mr. President, you're out of here. You hear me? You're fucking done. And that goes for every president, Democrat or Republican. That's what I think it should be. And you know what else I think it should be? I think it should be, one thing I will say about Trump. Trump chose a young vice president. He chose a young guy. And that's what I think we need to see more of in this country is younger people, not these fucking geriatric fucking Geritol taking fucking angina having motherfuckers up here making laws for everybody when they're fucking 60 years out of fucking style. These motherfuckers are still wearing bloomers and shit like that. I think we need to take the old guy out of old guy politics. We need to take that out. And we also need to take the guy out of politics. I think a lot more women need to start running for office. I really do. I mean, because, and just like I said before, I think a lot more black people, a lot more Latin people need to start running for office. I really do, because that's the only way this landscape is ever going to change, is if we have a more diverse government. If our government was diverse, we wouldn't have half the problems that we'd have, because everybody would check each other. Oh, we're going to do this over in the black neighborhoods. Oh, no, the fuck you ain't. No, the fuck you not either. Oh, we're not going to give this over here. Oh, yes, the fuck you is. You're going to give all of that over to these Latin people. Yes. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to take all this stuff and give it to y'all, get y'all right, everything y'all need, and then give everybody else the fucking scraps. That's what y'all doing, man. That's exactly what y'all doing. Y'all getting y'all shit straight for everybody. Putting your kids in school, making sure everybody got good food to eat, building your neighborhoods up, building your wealth up, getting your shit together first. And whatever else it is, you leave the rest of us down here to fight over the fucking scraps. And now what you're doing is you're putting blacks and Latins against each other, and black people, Latin people, don't fall for it. It's a fucking tactic. It's a trick. It is a trick. Don't fall for it. They're doing it on purpose. They're coming for your black jobs. They're doing shit on purpose. They're eating the dogs and eating the cats. They're doing shit on purpose. We need to be more aware of what's being done to us as American citizens, not just black people or Latin people, American citizens. We need to be more aware of what's being done to us. And you know what? Another thing we need to be less gullible than we are. We're fucking stupid, man. We really are. We're dumbasses because we believe any fucking thing. We believe anything. You know, I mean, we just believe shit. You know, oh, he said he didn't do it. Well, motherfucker, if you did some shit you didn't want to get caught for, wouldn't you say you didn't do shit too? Yes, of course. And another thing, if this motherfucker never knows anything, why the fuck you running for president? You don't know shit. You never know shit. You never heard of shit. You never been around shit. You don't know these. Then why the fuck are you? You don't know shit. Why the fuck are you running? I mean, I don't feel confident in that. I don't feel confident in a president that don't know shit or ain't seen shit or hasn't heard shit. I don't feel confident in that. I just don't. And I don't understand how everybody else could have some confidence in that shit, because that shit right there, to me, a motherfucker that don't know shit, don't see shit, and don't hear shit, that motherfucker's deaf, dumb, and mute. That is motherfucker speak, see, and hear no evil, all wrapped up into the same motherfucker. Why the fuck do we follow that? And the reason why is because he appeals to certain feelings and certain sentiments of a lot of, I won't say a lot, but a good number of citizens. He articulates that. He's not afraid to. One of the reasons he's not afraid to is because he's got $600 million or whatever it is. He's got a bunch of fucking money. So same thing with Elon Musk. You think Elon Musk would be talking shit the way he talks if he had a few dollars? No. The reason why he says what he says about people, talks the way he does about people, is because he has the most money of anybody on the planet. And no matter what, I'll say what I want because you don't have anything. And you're insignificant to me. But what Elon Musk doesn't understand, it, his money can't fight. That's one thing. His money can't fight. You know what I'm saying? And that's why he stays himself out of forums where people don't necessarily, because I know motherfuckers will knock his ass the fuck out. Because you're not a political figure. You're just a guy. You might be a rich guy, but you're nevertheless just a motherfucking guy. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you don't hang out with people like that. You just don't hang out with motherfuckers that could tune your ass up behind the shit you say. And that's why you say the shit that you say, because you have enough money to keep enough space between you and those people. And that's why you have no respect for them. And the same thing with Donald Trump. He has enough money to keep distance between him and his constituents and all of his supporters. He has enough money to keep him separated from them, while at the same time making it look like he's down there in the trenches with them. What a douchebag. What a fucking douchebag. No. Because douchebags are going to do what people let douchebags do. What a bunch of idiots. What a bunch of idiots, I should say. You motherfuckers out here voting for shit. And the thing about it is, and this is the difference, they're voting for monetary compensation. People are voting for money. They're voting for money. They're voting for monetary compensation. What they are not voting for is the human experience. They're not voting for people. They're not voting for compassion. They're not voting for love. They're not voting for respect. They're not voting for dignity. They're not voting for any of that. They're voting for hate. They're voting to make sure that the things that they hate don't make it here, even if somebody else loves them. Even if somebody else loves them. Their job is to set themselves up and make themselves as untouchable as they possibly can, which they already have. Anything that this man says, if he's elected, anything that this man says is going to pass. Why? Because conservatives have the majority, and that's why. And there are a lot of people who are afraid to speak out against him. There are a lot of people who are afraid to confront him. There are a lot of people who fear retribution or retaliation from him if he wins and they didn't vote for him. And the way to beat that is to vote against him. To have some fucking backbone and to vote against him. But the problem is this. Everybody thinks he's going to make them rich, especially these brothers out here in the hood, man. I'm voting for Trump, man, because Trump is a businessman and he's going to teach me how to be a businessman. Trump ain't going to teach you shit. He's going to teach you how to fucking get frustrated, how to fucking be frustrated with your situation. He's teaching you right now how to get frustrated with your situation so that you lash out, so all this space that they're clearing for all these new prisons, for all their new revenue, because you're a fucking dollar sign, bro. You hear me? All you black folks out there, all you brothers out there, all you young enterprising brothers out there thinking you're going to vote for Trump, You're voting for yourself for narrowly making it. That's what you're voting for. You're voting for narrowly escaping this. And you're also voting for, if you do escape this, to leave the rest of your people behind. That's what you're voting for. Now, I didn't vote for Trump. I voted for Harris. But I'm not convinced. I am definitely not convinced by Kamala Harris. I am not convinced. And the reason I'm not convinced is because, like I said in my last podcast, she doesn't seem genuine to me. She does not seem genuine. Trump definitely doesn't seem genuine. But she seems like she's being propped up. In other words, I don't think it's 100% her. I think she is going to be a puppet president. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I think that she is. I don't want to say she's out of her league. I don't want to say she's out of her depth. I don't want to say that. What I'd like to say though is, I can understand why some people are leery with this candidate. I can say that. I can see that. I can see that. But like I said in the beginning of the podcast, I think I could take 4 years of a bad president than a lifetime of a dictatorship. And I think a lot of people are with me on that. I think a lot of people, they don't want to deal with the divisiveness of this potential administration. I mean, it's just not necessary to be this divisive in your own country unless you have a specific agenda. Because all American citizens, regardless if you're a Democrat or Republican, all American citizens should be important to our president. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter who you vote for. Every citizen, whether you be a Democrat, a Republican, a fucking Christian, a fucking Muslim, whether you be fucking gay or straight, our president should want to do whatever is possible to help all of the American people, regardless if they voted for him or voted against him. And this man is weaponizing his base against the people who are voting against him. Me. My wife is Puerto Rican. And this person had a comedian come out and insult Puerto Rico. Straight up, man. It wasn't, I'm a comedian, and that was not funny. It was the truth. It was his truth. And not only was it his truth, it was the truth of the people who booked and vetted him. It was their truth. And again, Mr. Trump, I don't know nothing about nothing. I don't know nothing, y'all. I don't know nothing. You don't fucking know nothing. Of course you did. Of course you did. And you didn't have a problem with it. And the reason why is because you don't have a problem with your race. You have a problem with every other race. And you don't mind putting those races down, and you don't mind if anybody else puts those races down. And that, my friends, is unacceptable. It just really is. It's unacceptable and unbecoming of any person that is vying to lead this country. I know you guys hear Bell in the background. That's my cat running around. I'm doing my podcast in my living room, and he's getting a little rambunctious right now. So I'm going to take a quick, fast break, and when I come back, I'm going to continue talking about this subject right here before I have to go get my RV fixed. We are taking cold showers right now, and I'm over that shit. So I'm going to be right back after I let my cat out the door and call the RV company to schedule my appointment. And then I'll come back and I'll wrap this up, folks. And then I'll see you guys after the election. So I'm Darren Harris. I'll be right back. Hey, y'all, what's happening? Welcome back to the program. Today I'm talking about dictatorships or democracy, which is right for you. Because I think there's going to be a lot of fucking turmoil, man, here in about a week, man. There's going to be a lot of gnashing of teeth and angst, and one side is going to be really upset. The other side is probably not. And it's going to be one side or the other, definitely. So, folks, listen. If you want your kids to to grow up in a place where compassion and love and things of those nature are in the forefront, as opposed to somebody's ego, then consider keeping democracy. But if you're somebody who doesn't, who is entitled to this country, who feels like, they're entitled to be here and nobody else is, and then you vote that way. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. That's not my job. That is not my job. It's not to tell you who to vote for. But I'm asking a lot of people. Remember your morality, man. And all of you Christians, man, all of you Christians, everybody out there who claims that you are a Christian, look in your Bibles. Look in your Bibles. Look deep into your Bibles. And look at this man, and you tell me, is that a godly person? Are the things that he says and continues to say, are those godly things? Are those things that a loving God would say to the people who worship him? Is that a godly person? Are the things he's doing considered to be righteous? I don't think it is. I don't think it is, man. And I don't care what any of you people say. I know it ain't. Okay? I ain't a dumbass. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather built his own church. My mother's a pastor currently as we speak. I am not a dumbass. And I do know that all that shit he's talking about is exactly that. Shit. He's a Christian that can't name at least one Bible verse. I know at least one. I even know the Bible verse from Pulp Fiction that Samuel L. Jackson's character did in the beginning of the movie. I even know that scripture. But I do not claim to be this righteous person. I'm a regular guy, man. I got 4 kids. I got a wife. We got a cat and a dog. We got a vehicle, get us to and from where we need to go. We're just regular people here, man. But we're regular people who deserve to live in a country where we don't feel threatened, where we don't feel like second-class citizens, where we don't feel safe. We deserve to live in a place that has our best interests at heart. All of us, black people, white people, Spanish people, everybody. We deserve that. Now, if there are people who believe the opposite of what I just said, then you know who you're in the company of. And it's not hard to tell. We got a week, y'all. We got 1 week left. For a lot of us, this is going to be the most important decision that we ever make. Because, like it or not, it's going to affect your life. Even all those, I'm not a political person, it's going to affect your life. And for all those, I'm not a political person, people, you need to turn into a political person. You need to start getting involved in politics, because that's why your fucking ass is getting cleaned out, because you don't know what the fuck's going on, And you don't have a fucking opinion or a say-so about it. And when shit is too late and you walking around going, well, goddamn, how come this is the way that it is? It's because you were not a political person. And then you didn't have your say-so. Get your say-so. I got mine. And I made sure of it. I made sure. And I checked my voter registration every week all the way up until I voted. Because motherfuckers can miraculously now, if they just have your first and last name, they can take you off the voter. It doesn't even have to be fucking you. It can be somebody else. People that don't like you. Because all they need is your fucking name. They can just log on and take your ass right off the voter registration. Why is that allowed? Why is that even a thing? Why would you want to do that? And the answer is simple. Is because it's not for you. It's for the people who don't like you. It's for the people who don't like you. It's for the people who know this neighborhood. They can go through this neighborhood. They can go through this neighborhood. And it's so fucked up. They can come over to this neighborhood right here, get these people's information, and they can sit down at a computer and just one after the other cancel them all out. And when you go to vote, guess what? They don't know who you are. That's shitty. There's no two ways about that. That's just a shitty thing to do. But it just seems like that's the norm now. My producer says, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And that's the way it looks. And anything else, man, anything else, cheaters are disqualified. In the Olympics, cheaters are stripped of their medals. But not here in the United States. If you cheat and win, oh well, I guess you won. Even though you cheated. Cheating is not winning, folks. Cheating is losing. Cheating is fucking lowbrow. Cheating to get what you want is selfish. It's not for the American people. It's not for you folks. All of these attacks, just baseless claims, those are done on purpose to dissuade you and to discredit the candidate that you want to vote for. There's been a lot of rhetoric about both candidates, but I know one candidate, and I knew him before he was even thinking about being a political figure. I knew him before he thought about being a TV personality. I knew about all that shit. The Apprentice, before all of that shit. I knew about this motherfucker before all of that shit. You know what the funny part about that is Donald Trump is from New York. And years ago, I remember being down here in the South and all these Southerners down here, fuck Donald Trump and his fucking Yankee ass and fuck him. But now he's their fucking savior. Now this motherfucker is their savior. And I look at it like this also, man. You know this guy's character. You can see his character all over the place. You can see his character and you can see his morals, right? But people still find a way to justify voting for that. Oh, well, he's going to make the economy great. But he's a racist, man. Do you support that? And that's what I want to ask. That's what I want to ask to all these people that are supporting this person. He's a racist. He's a sex offender. He's many other things. But he still garners your support. I know what you're really voting for. It's unfortunate. Well, like I said, I cast my vote. I did what I could. I was a part of the process. I was a part of history in the making. And now I'm sitting here and I'm waiting to figure out what we're going to do. What we're going to do here. What is the United States going to do? How are we going to rock this off? How are we going to get this popping? or not. So, listen, folks, I think I'm going to wrap this up. And I got a few things to take care of. I got another podcast to do. If you guys want a little bit more and a little more intensity, you can check out my Black Lives Don't Matter podcast, because I put the screws to everybody in that one, and the gloves come off for everybody, and I don't pull any punches, and you can love it or hate it, but it's definitely worth checking out, especially in light of what's been going on here in our country. So I'm going to wrap this podcast up, ramp up the next one, and then I got a few other things to do, and I'm going to continue on with my day. So you folks, you guys have a good day, man. You know, if you haven't voted, get out and vote, man. Especially if you're a registered voter, and don't use the excuse, my job. Your job by law has to let you go vote. Go out, man. Be part of the process. Be part of history. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you're voting for. I mean, well, it does, but be part of history. All right? So I want to thank my parents, man, for being the greatest parents in the world. I want to thank my wife for being a fucking trooper, because she was upset about this fucking comedian guy, man. She was really upset about that. And then she looked to find that some people still Puerto Ricans were still planning on endorsing this man. And she was on fire behind that. But like I said, some people vote for money instead of morality. I want to thank my producer for being the man. And I was going to actually invite him to sit in on this one, but I think I might hook up with him after the fact. Maybe we'll do a podcast after the election is over, just to kind of get the recap going. But yeah, I want to thank Gentry Thomas for giving me the platform here on the podcast playground. And there's some other great podcasts on this platform also that I'm finding, a whole bunch of them. So, I mean, there's Backstage with Gentry Thomas. There's the BJ and Bill, the Big Bad Podcast, Dirty Blonde, Delightfully Different, The Coolest Geek Alive, Celebrity Jobber. The Outcast Podcast. There's so many good podcasts on this platform. So if you dig my podcast, give the other ones a spin. You might find something that you truly enjoy. So until next week, man, I'll see you guys on the other side. And hopefully everything works out in favor of democracy. So you folks have a great day, and I'll see you next week. Peace.
You've been listening to the Deron Harris Podcast. Subscribe to the show, give a good rating, and everything you need to know is at DaronHarris.com.